Hello, everyone. Welcome back, and thanks for joining me. I am back, and this time I wanted to have a discussion about former President Obama's. I'm fixing my camera. I don't know why I didn't do this beforehand. Anyways, I wanted to speak about former President Obama, who has just done a speech, quite a long speech, but it was kind of definitely contrasting our current occupant in the House, in the presidency, and it was kind of like being talked to, I mean, he was speaking in front of a bunch of college kids, and he'd said some things. I mean, I have kids, and pretty soon they're going to be going to college, and I am definitely feeling the same sentiments. It's like, oh, please call home just once in a while. Just once in a while, call home and let me know you're okay. But, I'm not there yet. I'm sure it's coming. Anyways, what I wanted to do was discuss. He came out and he did a speech. President Trump right now, pretty much his response to the speech was he fell asleep. So I would probably, but the majority of people, I mean, there's been a lot of responses and reactions. Some people are saying, it's just some, not the majority, but some people are like, go away, stay away. And other people are like, oh my gosh, we missed you. We miss a voice of reason, because it was like a talking to, just trying to reassure our fears and encourage and embolden people to get out and vote, which is really, I think, a lot of what my readings have been saying. If you've watched any of them in the past, it's been very, very poignant in saying the youth matters. The youth must get out and vote, and this is a very important election. So I think that the cards are pretty much echoing his sentiments and his statements of that. So and there's a lot of people wishing for, there's a little bit of a nostalgia going on. It's like, oh, the days when a president could string a few words together and not be hyperbolic and not be very all about me. What a great job I'm doing. What a great thing. And it's more about assuring a nation the challenges are going to be tough. You have to get out and be a participant in it. That's what America is built upon, participation. So that's why it's so important. So my question to the cards is going to be the reaction and his intent. And I want to get a clearer story of, I know he was invited to speak, but what made him come out and speak so strongly where it's a direct, counter speech against the current occupant in the House? So I wanted to know that. And because usually when a president leaves office, the president usually does not say anything about the predecessor. They remain quiet. They go do their own thing. They get their speaking gigs. They do their stuff. But, now we're having, Obama really feels important that he gets out and he starts energizing the youth to get out and vote. And he really didn't even go, he wasn't even Democrat, Republican. He was talking like the full, we're all Americans. It doesn't matter if you're Republican. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat. It's all about you getting out and vote and doing your American civic duty and the rights that have been afforded to you in allowing your voice to be heard through a vote. So let's find out. I have a new deck. I'm going to give this deck a rest for right now. And I've got the new deck. I just kind of want to see how it works, right? So let's move things away and let's kind of see if we can get some sort of gauge of, why now? Why is he coming out and speaking? What's happening? What is the mood? I just kind of want to get a story. So this is going to be more of a general reading for this speech and for what Obama is intending and where he is going with it. I do know it's about, it's probably, nobody needs cards to realize that it's about him going in and energizing the base and getting them motivated, helping them understand what the duty is as an American citizen with your rights to vote, and the youth, getting them engaged because they are the largest population right now. And he did speak about some of the extreme politics that are occurring right now, and that is why he is discussing about getting everybody out to vote. So, yeah, my shuffling isn't so hot today. It's all right. We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. So we'll see how this deck does. Anyways. All right, let's see if we can get a general idea. What brought him out? Instead of just giving a speech to young students about their futures and about the aspirations and stuff, what made him come out with the strong rebuke against the current administration and the state of our politics as a general? And it's not that he cut it down. He was just saying, we're better than this. We're better than this. We as Americans are better than this. So, love or hate him, he sure sounded like he was the voice of reason for that brief moment in time. So, let's see what happens. So, emotions. So, there's a strong sense of emotions, and this is new emotions. And, when you're doing a normal a reading, this is a very positive card. I mean, it talks about new announcements, could be new marriage, new love, it's emotion overfloweth, and it's usually a happy emotion. On the flip side of it, it could be too much emotion. Everything is so emotional, it's spilling out of the cups, and then you have the tears and stuff like that. So you have emotions. The emotions are overflowing. People are absolutely over emotional, and we're looking for a voice of reason in a chaotic time. So I think this is the overarching theme for this particular reading, for this spread. Let's see what sort of story it builds. Okay, in the past, we've had the Knight of Wands, which is new energy, new creative energy, bursting forth, making things happen, bringing ideas into fruition. It's the workhorse. It's the fire energy. It's definitely racing forward and getting things going, getting things done. It's the night energy. So that's where it was. And that bursting forth would probably be of the new agendas, because, obviously after Obama left the office, you had Trump come into the office, you had the Republicans in control, and there was a lot of optimism and bursting forth. And even though there were fears about it, this emotional, it's like, oh my gosh, emotions overfloweth, it could go, you had people going, no, we are in trouble. And you got other people going, yes, our team finally won. So, you got a lot of, emotions overflowing. So the new burst of energy was hey, we're going to get things done. We're going to go forward. We're going to push forward our agendas and all that stuff. Present. A lot of people are being left out in the cold. So the voice of reason was left out in the cold. People are like going, where's the voice of reason? Who people are seeing? Usually they look, when times of trouble, times of strife, people look to our president in order to bring comfort, or to let us know that the government is on it, the government is working for it, the government is thing. But, we don't have that. There's a void, there's a vacuum within that. So you have people frustrated. You have disaster responses are pretty much non-existent. We had Texas when they had their major flooding with the hurricane and a lot of damage going on. Trump was there, sorta, and then so much craziness just occurred that everybody forgot about it. And then you had the hurricane in Puerto Rico, which is still a stain. He literally, he threw paper towels at people. So, and then he was like, oh, we're doing such a great job. And the Puerto Rico people are saying, no, we are a territory. We are United States citizens. Help us. And Trump pretty much just ignored him, and other people tried to step in, but the vacuum, the vacuum within the leaderships was absent, and we are still dealing with the ramifications today from the hurricane that occurred last year. Then we have the wildfires, and okay, no response. Usually when you have a wildfire that is that devastating to a state of emergency is declared by the president so that FEMA can get involved, so the government can get involved to help assist the situation. And I don't remember anything happening. I haven't heard anything, any sort of declaration of emergency to get the federal aid to move. Instead, the states are trying to band together and field this tragedy that's going on. I mean, when I just heard the wildfires are still going crazy and rampant in Northern California, and I'm just like, is there going to be a California left? It's really horrible, and there's no response from our leadership about that. So being left out in the cold. So that is where presently the consciousness is the feelings of being left out in the cold. Our leadership has abandoned us. So Obama comes in to speak, and it kind of it fills that void of hoping. Now everybody knows Obama can't do anything. He's not president. He's not part of government. He has, all he has is the encouragement. But sometimes that's all we need. We just need that person to feel like leadership still exists within, and that's why probably people were going, oh, hey, this is what a leader used to sound like, and this is what we have now. So, okay. So the challenge is the Two of Wands, which would be making decisions. And that is a challenge because, Obama is not in a position of power. He has no power. He can't make those decisions, but he can influence by speaking. So people, see, if you're looking at the people left out in the cold, they are heading to the speaker. They're looking to him for solutions and ideas, and he is not in a position to really make anything happen, but he can inspire hope. He can get people motivated to make the change. He's going to give them knowledge and understanding, because knowledge is power, to help empower the people to get out and make the changes they want to see. So they're looking to the orator. But the challenge is they can't be looking to him to solve the issues because he can't. He's not empowered to do so. So the outcome is the fighting spirit. So there's a fighting spirit, and we have people who are, lashing out. So this has, because he's come out and spoke, this has two different reactions. You've got the people who he's emboldening and giving them hope and giving them the courage and helping them get out there and fight and make things happen. And you got the other side who didn't like Obama that are just swinging that sword and trying to cut him down. And they're like, go away, you're no longer important, get out of here. And then you got the other side that's getting emboldened and empowered and getting ready for the fight. So, and this is the youth. He is working on getting the youth fired up to go and do their civic duties. So the civic duties is to get out and vote and bring in the government you wish to see. So, all right, so let's build upon this story. So we're seeing a story being built here. We see a picture, and we have a lot of emotions overriding all of this. So in the past, they just, and this is very recent past. I mean, past, they just see a ton of fighting. The underneath this night of all this energy is arguments. Congress is arguing. The president is arguing. We're arguing amongst ourselves. We're dividing ourselves. Lots of arguments. And it can make you feel left out in the cold, because it's like nobody's coming to consensus. Nobody's coming together. It's the my side, your side, my side, your side. And Obama is trying to bring that all back together. So this is the secrets. So the people feeling left out in the cold, there's a lot of secrets. They feel the government is just not in their best interest. They're holding a lot of secrets. They're doing things behind the veil, and every time they do things behind the veil, it comes out and it's not good for the people. And so this is the overriding factor of pushing it into people feeling left out in the cold. It's plain to see. And like I said, it's so plain to see, and it's so heartbreaking and so distressing to the collective that they look for someone to bring that ray of hope. So the challenge is bringing this to completion. The challenge is to make the change, to end the current cycle so we can create a new cycle. So, and that is why Obama is here. He's here to galvanize the American people to get out and start voting. He's trying to give words of wisdom, inner reflection. So his speaking does help bring some inner reflection, to go within and understand that we are all the same. We're all American citizens. We are all here. We all have rights, and we all need to get out and do something so we can bring closure to the current energy paths and open up a new path forward. So the challenge is going to be doing that. So I kind of see the challenge is he'll probably be out there much more trying to galvanize the youth vote, because they are very important right here. He's gonna be out there trying to speak about that and get them motivated, get them out there, get them voting. So the fool's journey. So if we can overcome this challenge, get it closed, close the path to the old energy, this old energy that is very tribal, my side versus your side, get that closed so you can open up the new energy, because the youth are extraordinarily important in this. It launches us into a new journey, the fool's journey. Right now, if we continue this path, it's still going to head to an end. What kind of end do we want? We want a new beginning, and the fool's journey is, you have all the elements, and you in this, you see this little bag? This is all your experiences, and it's on a stick, which would be a wand, right? It's a wand, so it's wand energy, so it's bringing forth new creative energy, and you're getting ready to take a step into the unknown. So it's the fool's journey. The sun behind your back, whether you rise or fall, whether you fly or sink, that is not the most important thing. The most important thing is to get moving, take that first step, get going into the new energy so we can actually make things happen. And sometimes we need a little encouragement. So I think that really kind of resonates with what the speech is about to the college students. So in the past here, we have law and order. So we know that currently in the current energy stream, or even in the past energy stream, we have a lot of law coming to the surface. I mean, we have a bunch of guilty pleas, we have a bunch of indictments, we have a White House in complete chaos, and it seems so dysfunctional that, the average person is left out in the cold. It's literally like, and everything that comes out of the White House, like any sort of legislation, any sort of, executive order, literally keeps it's like being hit constantly by one horrible thing after another. Environmental deregulation, tax cuts for the rich, the border separation policy, which they were ordered to bring the kids back together, but the government, this administration is saying, well, if we just pull out, we're just going to increase our hold of the children we separate from their families indefinitely. It's heartbreaking. Every time you see something, it's heartbreaking that comes out of the administration, and the constant fighting and inaction of Congress is heartbreaking. So Obama is saying, we got to make the change. We, the voters, have the power to make the change. So law is very powerful in it. This would also be Mueller, because this is my card for Mueller. So Mueller is very important, and people are really, there's a lot of people that is just hanging hanging on Mueller coming in and finally setting things in motion that's going to end this. But Obama is saying, okay, this is happening, but we are the voter. We have to get out and do it. So he comes out and he speaks about new beginnings, giving birth to new ideas, getting birth. You got to go and bring in. So it's kind of like when you look at the queen, you look at the empress, it's a very nurturing energy. It's about bringing forth new ideas, birthing new ideas. It's nurturing. It's creating an environment that allows things to grow. And so the emotions are so overrun, and he comes in and he tries to, how when you have a child, if any, some of you don't have children, so just bear with me, or you can, even an animal, when you see them hurt, when you see them upset, and you see them wounded, you come in and you swoop them up in your arms and you talk to them and you soothe them and you try it, and you do it in a way that gives them the courage to stand back up, to get back up on their feet and continue to move forward. It's kind of that energy. It's that, swooping up the people and saying, hey, look, okay, we know you fell down, it hurts, but we got to get back up. We got to keep going. We got to keep marching forward. So the challenge is the government. So yes, this is the thing. Government is not going to change if we don't vote. And he's making that crystal clear. Those people who are in power would prefer you don't vote so they can keep that power. So here's that. The challenge is the government. So the challenge is the people getting out to vote to change the government, because it won't change if it's not happening. And the tower. So if the youth can get back up, get out there, create the new journey, they will, and they can get through all of these challenges, they will create the tower moment. The government will change. So we're going to get what we want if we do it. So I personally don't, I'm just going to tell you, this just kind of just echoes everything that I believe many of us readers are saying. You got to vote. You got to do your civic duty. And Obama was kind of there just to emphasize this to the youth, because the youth are the hardest to, the youth they're so open-minded, they're so hopeful, they see the future as infinite possibilities, and sometimes the idea of their power with voting to bring about the changes they wish to see in the government, it sometimes it's not there on their mind because it hasn't affected them yet. But right now it's affecting everybody, and we're trying to educate them in understanding how important their vote is. And if you choose to vote for, Democrats or the Republicans or an independent or, any of the other parties, the idea isn't who you're voting for. It's about the idea about doing the action of voting, because that is your right as a U.S. citizen. So it's about asking people to do that. So, and then we have the Queen of Pentacles, which again would match this, because the Queen of Pentacles, even though she is about money, right? She is also nurturing the material things. She nurtures it. She creates an environment that allows people, that allows the children to grow and to flourish. So when you're looking at the negative side of the Queen, it's, it's all about money. It's very, it's about money. It's about gaining money. It's about hoarding money. It's about, taking money from other people. It's not the nurturing side of the Queen. When you're on the nurturing side of the Queen, this nurturing side of the Pentacle of the Queens, she is creating an environment that would be, that would help facilitate growth in the material realms, home, family, career. So we have two queens. We have the Empress and the Queen here. So we have the Mother of the deck and the Queen of Pentacles here. this, I would say, is very positive. So I think that it gave a pretty good, clear picture of the intent. The intent was to galvanize the youth, to teach them, to fill them with knowledge. Knowledge is power. Power can, when you give people the feeling that they have control, it empowers them to make the change that is necessary. And I think this is really important. So I think his message is important, and I don't see him going away. He sees the need, and he's going to continue doing it. There are going to be people who don't like him, and they're going to swipe at him all the time, because they swiped at him anyways throughout his entire presidency, and they're going to continue swiping him. But now they feel more emboldened because they have their candidate in office, and they're going to keep going. But this is also Obama filling in the emotional void and encouraging the youth, encouraging the people who looked up to him to get out and vote. He becomes the voice of reason. He encouraging to vote, to start this new journey. Don't be afraid of the new journey. Create the Tower moment. Create the change in the government you wish to see. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Until next time, thanks. Bye.